Hey there guys, and welcome to my channel, Pixxie Doodle. So I just wanted to first welcome you all here, no matter how you got here, whether you got here from one of my previous channels or whether you just randomly found it. I just want to welcome you guys and tell you guys what I plan to do. So for this channel, I plan to be my art channel where I do drawing and stuff like that. I plan to upload a video every Wednesday. I'm not going to set a time because it's not possible to set specific times with me. Nope. But what we're going to be doing is it's not just going to be about me drawing. It's going to be about me learning how to draw because I love to draw and I've been drawing since I was in high school. But I gotta say, there's still a lot I need to learn. But I used to love art class and now I'm just so busy that I don't even think about doing art anymore, and it's something I really love to do, so I'm going back to it. And you guys can join me because we're going to be going through a whole bunch of different sources and learning as we go. And these sources include books, YouTube videos. So I guess there's really not a lot of sources you can go to, but I mean YouTube does have a lot of different artists with a lot of how-to videos that you can check out. So the first book I want to talk about is actually kind of a two-parter book series. So the first one is How to Draw Manga by Katie Coop. And this one just goes over the very basics of drawing. It goes over the faces, expressions, and how to do the faces and expressions on different views and turns of the head, whether it's looking up, looking down, 3/4 from the side. It wants you to test out all these different looks, and it does hair and teaches you the basic flow of hair that you need to do when you draw it. And it teaches you how to draw bodies and do a few basic poses, and then they do finishing touches and like inking and shading and coloring and just brief explanations on all of those. The second one is a little more in depth. It is a quick recap on faces and bodies from the previous book, and this one's called How to Draw More Manga. So it recaps faces and bodies that the first one did, and then it goes into depth with clothes and accessories, how they should look, how they should fit, where the wrinkles should be, where shading should be. Just basically a more in-depth on how a person or character should look when drawn. And then it has more poses and action poses where it shows you how to draw little action symbols like them getting hit or something big happening, a bump, or motions that say that an action is happening at that moment, not that just someone's standing there. And then another section that it has, which is one of my favorites, is animals. It teaches you how to draw cutesy little animals, and it's really fun, and I like all the animals that it teaches you to draw, and it even shows you how to help color to make it look like fur, and it's really cool. Then at the very end, it has a section called Putting It All Together, where it basically takes everything you've learned and makes you put it into a full picture, because it also covers backgrounds. So it makes sure that you learn how to put the body and the background and the looks of people in this picture and the process of coloring it. It's supposed to look like this, and mine ended up looking like this. So I didn't go through the book before I did that picture. I just thought, oh, this would be really cool, like a before and after. So the third book is The Complete Idiot's Guide to Drawing Shoujo Manga Illustrated. Now, this book doesn't go into as detailed as the How to Draw mangas in how to draw, but it does give plenty of tips on how to draw and make the people look more natural and their poses look more natural and just make them altogether look better. It also goes through screen toning and coloring. So it's got 3 sections with 4, I want to say columns or compartments or something, just 4 subsections with 3 characters in each. And I'm not going to talk about them all. I'm just going to talk about my favorite in each subsection. So my favorite of the heroines would be the Beauty, because she's just so elegant looking, and she's not in a school uniform like the schoolgirl, and she's not nerdy looking. She's just got this elegant beauty, and I just love the way she looks. Although if you want to compare me to them, I'd probably be the nerdy one, or the one that wears a school uniform all day because I don't like changing. Then the men in the female character's life, or the hero if you don't want to do shoujo manga, would be the bad boy, because he just, even though he's got the tattoos and he looks like a bad boy, it's just you look at his face and his eyes and you can tell that he's got a sweet, gentle, sentimental side to him, and it really brings out the character. You can see a whole person in that picture, and I really like that one. My favorite for the women in the characters' lives would be the rival, because everyone needs a rival. Rivals push us to be better people, because we despise our rivals, and they're always trying to one up us, so we have to one up them. So we always end up trying to be better because of our rivals who we hate. But I love it how in this picture they have the two people behind her two cronies. It's kind of cute. My favorite for the men in the lives has to be the father, because it's just like there's so much character to the father. He's riding on a subway train, reading a manga, just crying in front of people, and there's just so much depth and emotion that you would not expect that of a guy who looks to be like 40 or mid-30s, you know. You wouldn't expect that for a character like that, so that was one of my favorites. So the second section was settings, and the first subsection was modern, and I couldn't choose a favorite. I really like them all. I like the guy eating the sandwich in the streets of New York, because it just looks so natural and normal. And I love the country one, because I grew up in the country. I didn't have a farm with cows or anything, but it's just like, it's a nice little reminder of home. And then there's the Japanese girls. I forget what they're called. But they do the tans, and they try to look like California girls, and it's just I just really like the way they portray how much energy and fun and emotion in that photo. And then it goes to the new future subsection, and my favorite has to be the ninja, because even though when you read the comment for this picture, it says that it's really the same person trying to show how she's just a normal girl during the day, and at night she's a ninja. I really love how it kind of looks like this ninja is protecting this little boy, and I know it's supposed to be a little girl, but it looks like a little boy to me. I just can't change the way I think. Then in the far future section, my favorite has to be the cyborg. Now, she may not be part animal and breathe underwater like the Genotech, and she may not have superpowers like the superpower one, I guess. But I definitely prefer her, because she just looks like she's having so much fun. She looks so happy, and honestly, she's the most realistic out of any of those. The last section in settings is historical, and again, I could not choose a favorite of these ones. You have the old medieval one in the front and the center, and it's just so beautiful and elegant. And then you have the fun, fluffy, layered Victorian off to the right. And then you have the kind of cool, hip, kind of 60s mod girl look. They say it's mod girl. That if it's not mod, I'm sorry, that's just what it says it is. But she just looks so fun and quirky. And I just love them all so much that I just couldn't choose between the three. So the last section is called Tropes and Trapping, and I'm not sure what that means. But I feel like it mostly means like the setting theme of the story. It's got romance, which it shows a beautiful story of two meeting, the two falling in love and then breaking up. And the picture of the breakup is just so emotional because you can see that though she's really upset, you can see that he's also upset by the breakup. And it's just a really nice scene. The second one is comedy. And it's got basically 3 comedic things that you should have in a story. A sidekick, the one that's always annoying or bugging or always right beside the main character. And then you have humiliation, a tool for any comedy. And then you have the comic relief, which is the whole point. The third subsection is horror, and I just loved how they made the ghost for this horror upside down in a tree. Because these are all aspects to horror stories, and I really love the snake monster on the bottom, how she's like leaning over the man, and it almost looks like she really cares about him. And then the last one is the serial killer who just looks creepy. So fantasy is the last section, and it's basically got a little angel princess, a prince, and a villain. And I'm not sure what fantasy has angel princesses. But the prince kind of looks like the type of character that would end up ditching me in the end, and I'd end up with the villain. Who kind of looks like Sinbad. So the last book I have is Manga Artist Academy with tips from experts. And this one's really fun. I loved it. It's basically in manga format, and it teaches you how to make a manga with tips from actual mangaka. So it's really cool. It's about this little panda who does a horrible copy and horrible story of a manga, and this guy named Mr. Star comes and he takes her to all these experts and he trains her, and then he still hates what she comes up with at the end, but you find out that he's the editor that turned her down the first time. Okay, so now that we've talked about all these drawings and how-tos and stuff, we're forgetting one of the most important aspects of art and drawing, and that is creativity, which mostly involves doodling. I do a lot of doodling. So I love drawing, and there's a whole bunch of ways of doodling. You can draw still life, or you can just draw random lines, or you can try to draw something off the top of your head. It doesn't have to look great. The whole point of a doodle isn't that it has to look great, or it's about getting down ideas or just randomly drawing things to give you ideas. Okay, now that we know that we should be doodling every day, you should also be practicing the things you have a hard time on. Like, I have a really hard time on hands. A severely hard time on hands. Alright, so now just to remind you guys that the books that I've mentioned in this video are not going to be my only resources. I will be going on YouTube and looking for other stuff, and I hope to get even more books to learn even more. But after I'm finished all these books, because we're doing all our doodles, we've done all our doodles, and we've done all our books, and we've learned how to draw. But there's still something really important we need to learn, and that's how to color. And I happen to have 2 coloring books. The first one is a How to Train Your Dragon coloring book, which I absolutely love dragons, and it's very easy and simple to color, and I believe it'll teach me a lot on shading, which is something I really need to do with color, and how to press lightly with stuff so that I can shade with the same color, because I don't have a lot of colors that I can layer with a darker color. The second book was a gift I recently got for Christmas, and it's just a whole bunch of beautiful, intricate designs. There's some easy ones, some difficult ones, and some realistic ones. And it's a lot, but I think they're all worth coloring. And they tear out of the book. They have the perforated edge like with notebooks. And you can tear it right out and draw it on a flat surface. You don't have to do it on the book. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you hit that big thumbs up button if you enjoy it and want to see more videos. Don't forget to subscribe. Okay guys, I will see you next time.